Morning, everyone. Please have a seat. So there's quite a lot of airtime and attention given to our athletic programs here at QMS, and of course, many students and teams have had great seasons, and there's lots of growth happening. One of the areas of the school where we also excel and have a lot of talent is in the arts programs here. And so this morning we wanted to give an opportunity to those in these programs to come and speak on their behalf, share a little bit about what's been going on, and also looking ahead to the future at how we can celebrate our artists further along too. So I'm going to introduce Ms. Powley.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ms. Powley, and if you don't know me, I'm one of the visual art teachers here. And as you saw on Friday's talent show, we have an incredible group of student artists here at QMS. Congratulations to them for winning the Most Creative Award on Friday. Visual artists, represent. So today I'm happy to introduce two of these amazing artists who have generously offered to share their work with you today. I also want to recognize some of their achievements this year. As students in the AP 2D Art and Design class, students have created impressive series of expressive artworks through long-term investigations by following an in-depth inquiry cycle process. This is what Noah Marston has done this year, and as you'll see, he'll show you just a sample of the results of his inquiry. There are many, many more pieces that he created this year, but he's going to show you just a few of them. I want to congratulate Noah as well as all of the students in the AP Art class. So Madison Clausen, Jai Chen, Jiahui Chen, and Ava Strang for completing the rigorous creation and writing involved in successfully submitting their AP Art portfolios to the AP College Board on May 5th. It was a feat that they achieved with excellence. As a student of material arts and a regular art co-curricular participant, Gray Kernighan skillfully creates unique, imaginative, and ambitious works in a wide range of art mediums, including ceramics, stained glass, sculpture, and acrylics, to name a few. As you will learn from their presentation, you'll learn more about all the different mediums that they use. Meanwhile, Gray also serves as an arts captain this year, providing leadership and support contributions to our various initiatives, such as and including putting together the visual arts slideshow on Friday, among many other things, which we appreciate. After those presentations, we'll have a poetry presentation, and Jason Cheng will also announce a new initiative in the arts. So first I'll call on Noah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Noah. I participated in the AP art course this year. And for my presentation here, I've got what is just my selected works. So the AP portfolio had kind of two sections to it. There was kind of a whole bunch of your work, and then kind of like your 5 pieces that you really want to be seen. So these are these 5. And the first one here, titled The Famished Saint, would be one that most of you have probably seen in the hallway throughout most of this year. One of the concepts of my AP portfolio was to kind of blend the mix between art and text. So taking text and making art from it, or making art from text, sort of thing. So for this one, I took the quote, "Well-fed devils behave better than famished saints," as kind of the inspiration for this quote. And kind of all that I really did was just keep it in mind as I painted, and it kind of just sort of guided the creative process. In a bit of an interesting way, I couldn't really tell you how it worked, to be honest. I kind of just went with it, and that's how it went. But I'm quite happy with this one, and I'm very proud to have it hanging up in our hallways. So this one here is one that has gone through a few iterations kind of within my life, actually. There's been, I want to say, 2 other versions of this painting that kind of went unfinished. And this is kind of part of what I said of making art from text, having all of these words kind of spilling out of a black, unidentifiable figure. It is titled Self-Portrait, as you are kind of meant to picture yourself as whatever this is. It is supposed to represent the turmoil within someone's brain, how all of us can end up having a tornado of thoughts inside of ourselves that there's nothing you can do about. A lot of us go through some sort of identity troubles during high school as well, hence kind of the who and why. Another part of my portfolio was to take a certain concept, and the concept was kind of the fear sort of thing. How can I create an image that just makes you feel sick? It was an interesting experiment that I wanted to play with, and I will continue to play with as I move forward throughout my artistic career. But this is the first painting that I created to kind of try and emphasize this painting that just gives you an emotion and makes you feel right away. So for this one, it is the Challenger. There's a little dude right there at the top, kind of challenging these big eyes in the sky, whatever this creature is supposed to be. And then the quote reading down alongside the right hand says, "No risk, no story." So I feel like it's a tad bit self-explanatory. You've got to go out there and challenge something, challenge yourself in order to have any sort of anything. This is the second painting that was inspired by a quote. The quote for this one was, "We tripped on the urge to feel alive." This one was an interesting one because it took me a really long time to figure it out, kind of what the quote was supposed to mean. Because it's very, I don't know, to me it was very open-ended. And how I ended up interpreting it was, you have to want to live. You want to have this experience. And to trip on something is to forget it and stumble over it and have it impact you later on. So I wanted to create a painting that kind of pulled you in and out of kind of the chaos of kind of life in a sense, using the barrel of a wave as a bit of a metaphor as well, as a design choice to create motion that goes farther than just the edge of the canvas. And then lastly, I had experimented with a lot of graffiti. That was kind of the other good chunk of my portfolio, was a lot of graffiti work. A lot of just writing the same word, chaos, over and over and over again to create a specific text style. A very interesting process that was very, very foreign to me as a traditional artist, and I feel to many others who have introduced to it. So for this, I'd kind of, within graffiti, you are to play with the balance of letters and how they flow in and out of one another, the negative space in between them, and kind of how it's all composed. It's a very interesting art form. But for this, I wanted to juxtapose the perfect symmetry of the circle O with the long flowing lines of kind of the rest of the letters, as well as the juxtaposition in color. But yeah, that's about it for my presentation. The AP experience was really, really cool. As Ms. Paley said, I made so much artwork. I don't know what to do with it, actually. The amount of pieces that I created during the year has been much more than kind of what I'd ever thought, and it really has brought me to a lot of really, really cool places. So yeah, that's about it.
Hi everyone. I want to start off by saying Miss Pally wasn't lying when she said about how many mediums I go through. And don't ask me what my favorite is because it changes week per week. Yeah, so what you're about to see, I wouldn't call any of these like my best pieces, but they definitely are the ones that hold the most significance, whether they took the longest time to make or I was just in a certain mood when I made them. Yeah. So this has a little story to it. This was actually my very first still life in the middle of the wilderness with a friend of my mom, with my mom's friend, who's an artist. She basically said, let's go outside with your easel, and you have about this amount of time to create something, and no editing afterward, like no spending countless hours trying to refine the bark. It was just get them and go. And I'm actually quite proud of how that one turned out because it's kind of imperfect in the background, but it's really detailed in the foreground. So yeah. Now this one, the Art in Imperfection, when you first look at it, it seems like a bunch of junk and a bunch of mumbo jumbo and just literally anything that doesn't make sense. If you look closer though, however, every single piece in this artwork is actually reused art materials, thus the art of imperfection. And when I was creating this piece, Miss Anderson, if anyone remembers, she was helping me, anyone remember her? She was helping me destroy art materials. It was kind of funny. We were talking about what is no longer needed in the art portable, and then we would smash it, and she was teaching me how to smash records. Sorry guys. But yeah, every single form here is some sort of art, whether the records are for music, painting, cloths for wiping like paint and like smudging and things, scissors. I had a lot of fun with this piece, and it is the most outside of my comfort zone I can get, that it ended up being back in my comfort zone. Anyway, some of you may be very familiar with this piece, whether you've seen it in other presentations or just when I show it off to people who would listen. The Sunlit Field is actually my favorite out of all my pieces, mainly because it took about an entire summer of trying to figure out how to do the background of like the sunflowers, and I kept redoing them like over and over and over, going back to like the very first piece where like it was outside of my comfort zone. And so when I finally completed it, like there was like a whole month where I didn't do anything to it, I put a purple butterfly on it, and then another one and another one, and it immediately like made the entire struggle of painting this worth it. I almost threw it out. But yeah, it's by far one of my favorite pieces, and my mom will not let me have it. It's in her work right now. This is another one that actually got sold at the Cowichan Arts Festival. And the weird thing about that though is this is me during my not so happy era of last year. If anyone remembers, I was wearing a toque every day. I wasn't the happiest. I ended up creating a self-image, and it got sold, and I can't help but think that I'm staring at someone, whether it's in a kitchen, in a living room, somewhere, and just staring at them. Yeah, so once again, another favorite piece of mine. Contrary to how you're really supposed to deal with pottery, there's no glaze on this piece. It is all watercolor because Miss Anderson and I like to go against the rules of art. Anyway, yeah. Now this one is actually a gift for my parents that I gave them for Christmas. Yes, they cried. I cried too. But for anyone who's like known me this year, it took me about 5 months to complete this. Miss Anderson gave us gave us a limit to the amount of glass we were allowed to use, and that was 20 pieces. Can anyone guess how many pieces this is? 80? Higher. Way higher. 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 178. She looked at my design and was like, just walked away. And one thing my art teachers, including Mr. Parent and Miss Powley, have realized about me is there's no stopping me. Once I have an idea in my mind, whether it's a gigantic house or it's a 178-piece glass project, there's no stopping me. I'm going to be trying my hardest to do it, and that's what this piece signifies. Like, it's our cabin from DeCourcy Island, and this is not a beach. This is the tip of our deck. So this is the exact view that we have when we're sitting out in our safe space. And the Pirates Cove is over here, and then that's the chest that it's like take something, leave something, you know. Anyway, that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you didn't mind the nervousness. I'm practicing my public speaking skills, so thank you so much for listening.
Good morning, everyone. The Poetry Club members would like to thank those of you who have already signed up to perform at the Poetry Cafe, which is on Wednesday, June 7th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. We'd like to solidify the performances by the end of the week, so please consider participating. Your poem can be original or not, and does not need to be completely memorized. There's also a bit of room for students to do a music, dance, or monologue performance. If you would like to come to the Poetry Cafe, please come and see us in the Rowan Tree Foyer this week on Thursday or Friday, or next week on Monday or Tuesday to be put on the guest list. This year, we have a special performance for Pride Week that we are super excited about. If you enjoyed the talent show, the Poetry Cafe is another opportunity to see what QMS students have to offer. To get you excited about the Poetry Cafe, I'm going to ask Maya Cassie, the winner of the National Poetry Invoice Competition, to come up and perform. Thank you, Maya.
Thank you, Shaylee. This is a poem that I recited in Calgary. It's called The Ghosts of Women Once Girls. It's by Aja Monet, who's a cool poet. Somewhere, a little girl is reading aloud in the middle of a dirt road. She smiles at the sound of her own voice escaping the spine of a book. She feeds on her hunger to know herself. She has not yet been taught to dim. She sits with the stars beneath her feet, a constellation of things to come. As if a swallowed moon, she glimmers. Her head wrap rolls out in a gutter, bare feet scat the earth. The ghosts of women, once girls, make bridge of the dust dancing behind her. She decorates the ground in dimples. She stomps suffering out the spirit, hooves drumming the earth in circles. She holds gladness in her mouth like a secret, teased out of a giggle. Joy like her sadness overflows. She is not the opinions of others. She is of visions and imagination. Somewhere, a little girl is reading aloud in the middle of a dirt road. She smiles at the sound of her own voice escaping the spine of a book. She is a room full of listening, lending herself to her own words. Somewhere, a deep remembering of what was, she survives all. Thank you. Come to the Poetry Cafe.
Hi, everyone. Just want to first say a big well done to the artists who just presented. Noah, Gray, and Maya, that was fantastic. Can we give them another round of applause? Today is a chapel kind of reserved for the artists, and we just want to talk to you about an exciting new event that will take place in our community in the fall. I just want to start off by saying that art is undoubtedly the most powerful medium. People from all backgrounds can form powerful connections through art, no matter how different they are, because art can move us and touch us in unique ways that nothing else could ever replicate. Our community is so full of talented artists and performers like you just seen, and our team here is to launch a platform to celebrate their accomplishments and creativity. So please join me in welcoming the all-new annual Cowichan Youth Festival of the Arts. So the Cowichan Youth Festival of the Arts will be a half-day festival in October, where students will be able to explore and take part in various art forms. This will be a new exciting space for our community to showcase all the artistic possibilities that we are capable of here at QMS. We're also looking at having an art banquet in the evening to further recognize artists in our community. The festival will run early in the morning with choices to experience performances, exhibitions, screenings, as well as taking part in fun workshops and activities. And if enough interests are generated, the festival will also include competitions and awards with generous prizes. The Cowichan Youth Festival of the Arts will provide opportunities to showcase a variety of artistic mediums, including the following, and I'd like to introduce our festival student committee alongside them. So, representing visual arts, Madison Klassen and Ava Shuang, film and media arts, myself, poetry, drama, and dance arts, Jade Chen and Lexi Frechette, music, Rose Wu and Ashley Hong. So let's give it up to these artists who have volunteered their time to spearhead the festival efforts. Now you might still be wondering, why should we participate in the Cowichan Youth Festival of the Arts? You might not be so into art, or definitely would not submit pieces to the festival. Well, it's important to note that this event is not just about competitions or winning awards. It's about embracing our artistic passions, sharing our stories, and strengthening our sense of community. It's about encouraging each other to express ourselves and celebrating the diverse talents that make our school truly remarkable. Remember, this chapel presentation is just a teaser for what's to come. There is so much more planned that we have yet to share, and we are so excited to bring this brainchild of ours to life. So make sure to watch for calls for submissions in the coming weeks as we sort out all the final logistics. And if you're wondering how to get involved early, for those of you eager to participate, we're launching a logo design contest for the festival for a chance to win a $60 Starbucks gift card. So if you're interested in submitting, please refer to the announcements and your inbox for more details in the coming days. We look forward to your entries, and we cannot wait to show the world what QMS Trailblazers are capable of. Let's embark on this creative journey together. Thank you very much.
Wow. So I think the arts have spoken for themselves this morning, and I just want to thank everybody and congratulate you all, because it is such a key part of a complete education. And for you to have the artists sharing their insights and into the work, the wonderful work that they produce, is really pretty special. And I mean, the thought going through my head is always, you know, there's a quotation that the only enemy of art is fear, if you succumb to fear, then you don't talk about your art, you don't produce your art, you don't commit to your art, and you don't stand up here and perform. So, yeah, again, exemplary morning and such a fulfilling way to start the week. Let's get behind all these initiatives and support art in all of its forms. Thanks, everybody. Well done. Thank you. Thank you.